Welcome back to the channel, guys. I have so much to cover in this video. I want this video to be your go-to guide for all things weight related, from your stash box to your carry weight. There are literally tons of things that affect your carry weight, and I'm going to cover them all, from perk cards to diseases. Strap in, this video is full of everything you need to know about weight, and I'm positive everyone will learn something new. So a lot of these things are super complicated. I'll let you know that, so don't think that I am purposely trying to leave something out or I left out a whole bunch of stuff. Well, there's a reason for that. Like, it just gets way too complex, and you basically need a whole nother video for that. I might have already done a video for it, so I'm going to kind of condense some things, so I will try to let you know as I go, so that way you realize that maybe I should look into this just a little bit further. And the first thing that I want to go ahead and talk about is mutations, and this is one of those subjects that you really need to research more before you get into it, but I'm going to go over how it actually affects your carry weight. Your mutations can really hurt or help your carry weight. So let's just go over a little bit of the mutations here. As you can see, I have a bunch of mutations. Marsupial is one that a lot of people want because it helps you jump high. What it also gives you 20 carry weight. So this one is obviously one that a lot of people would like to have just because it helps your carry weight and you can jump super high, which is awesome. There are some downsides to some of them though, so let's just go over all of these real quick. Carnivore is one that you need if you're trying to maximize your carry weight. Bird bones, egghead, and eagle eyes can all hinder your carry weight. So bird bones decreases your carry weight, well, your strength by 3, which is your carry weight by 15. Eagle eyes decreases your strength by 3, and egghead decreases your strength by 2. So these are negative effects. So having all these on, losing 40 pounds of carry weight. So that completely negates that 20 pounds that I've actually gotten from marsupial. So that can be a bad thing. But there are ways to fix that too, so hang tight. One of the things that's going to have the biggest impact on your carry weight is going to be your strength under your special. So under your special, obviously, the more strength you have, the more you're going to be able to carry. Every point in strength is 5 pounds of carry weight. At 10, you're getting 50 pounds of extra carry weight. That's a huge increase in how much you can actually carry around with you. Can you imagine what you could do with extra 50 pounds? Make sure that if you're trying to maximize your carry weight, that you're actually maximizing your strength. So you would do that by putting as many points as you possibly can under strength. This really goes hand in hand if you're running a shotgun build, a heavy gunner build, or a melee build. Underneath perks, you'll actually see that so I have 15 now allotted into strength. So that's going to increase that carry weight, like I said. But you can also add in another 5 points to strength under your legendary perks. So your legendary perks don't even come into play until level 50. Strength just so happens to be one of those perk cards that you can actually choose. So you can see here that I have a 4-star strength card. Let's go ahead and look at that. So at 4 stars, I get plus 5 strength. So that means my strength is now at 20 under my special. So that is another 25 pounds of carry weight just from this card. Now that we've went over your special on how each point in strength actually affects your carry weight and how your legendary perks can go ahead and affect your carry weight, let's get into your actual perk cards, because there are so many perk cards that can actually affect your carry weight because they manage the weight of other items that you're actually carrying on your person. So the first one I want to get into is actually bandolier. It looks like somebody's already sharing it with me. And at 2 stars you get 9% ammo reduction weight. So that means ballistic weapon ammo weighs 90% less. So if you like to carry your ammo around, you're going to want to put bandolier on. So there's 2 points of your strength already gone. Alright, so the next one I want to go to is actually bear arms. So bear arms is a heavy gunner card, and as you can see here, it can give you up to 9% reduction in your heavy guns. So that means your flamers, your 50 cals, your miniguns, all your heavy guns are going to now weigh 90% less. It can get up to 3 stars. At 1 star you get 30%, and at 2 stars you get 60% reduction in that weight. The next one I want to go into is actually martial artists. The martial artist card actually affects your melee weapons. So if you're running a melee build, this is one that you may want to put on. Not only does it help increase increase your swing speed, which is always a good thing. It decreases your weapon weight, so all your melee weapons will weigh less. You can put up to 3 stars in this perk card. Your weapons will weigh 60% less. Ordnance Express. So Ordnance Express will actually affect your explosive weight. So those are your grenades, your mini nukes, your missiles. So if you're running a build around explosive items, then this is the card for you. As you can see, at 3 stars you get 9% reduction in your explosive weights. So that is a huge, huge deal, especially if you're carrying around a bunch of mini nukes or missiles, because those things really add up in weight over time. The next thing we're going to go ahead and get into is right beside it. It is the Pack Rat. So alright, Pack Rat is for people that carry their junk around. My suggestion is don't carry around junk, but if you're one of those people that do carry around all your junk with you, this is going to be the one for you. Or if you're kind of looting a building and you can't get out, this might be a card that you could, swap in and out right there on the fly to help you out if you don't have a scrap kit. At 3 stars, this maxes out at 75% reduction in all junk items. Next thing I'm going to get into is Scatter Shot. So if you run a shotgun build, this is actually the card for you. At 3 stars, your shotguns will weigh 9% less, and you can actually reload them 30% faster. The next perk card under strength is going to be your Strong Back card. It kind of can be a useless thing. You kind of have to weigh the risk and benefits for all of these cards, like how much is it actually going to benefit you. But at 4 stars, because this is a lot of points that you're dedicating to this, you get a 40 additional pounds to carry. At 4 stars, you're maxed out on this card. After Strong Back, you get Sturdy Frame. Sturdy Frame is for those that are carrying around a bunch of armor, or the armor that you're carrying is super heavy, like the ones that you're actually wearing. At 2 stars, your armor will weigh 50% less than normal. At 1 star, it's just half of that at 25%. This really helps out if you're making a whole bunch of armor at your camp and you need to go trade it in at one of the vending machines at the train station so you can get your script. After Sturdy Frame, we have Traveling Pharmacy. This is one that I use religiously. Traveling Pharmacy is a 3-star perk card, so you can rank it all the way up 3 times. At the first one you get 30%, 2 is 60, and at 3 you get 9% reduction in all your chems, which includes your stim packs. So your berry mentat, stim packs, Rad-X, Radaway, all that stuff is reduced by 90%. So if you carry a bunch of that stuff, this will be the card for you, especially the super stim pack. So that is all for strength. If I missed any, let me know. We'll head on over to endurance. So under endurance, a lot of people don't realize this, but endurance does have a couple cards that actually can affect your carry weight. The first card that I actually want to go over is Radical. So Radical can actually affect your strength in a different type of way. So if you run a radiation build or a bloody build as they're called, you can actually increase your strength by 5. So the greater your rads, the greater your strength. So a maximum of +5 strength. So that's an extra 25 pounds of carry weight. So if you're bloody build and you want extra carry weight, this is the card for you, because now you'll have an extra 25 pounds to carry around. And this is a lot better than maxing out like Strong Back at 2, because you only get 20 pounds of carry weight. This is a 1-star and you get 25 pounds of extra carry weight. The next perk card under endurance that we're going to discuss is Solar Powered. So Solar Powered, this is kind of one of those ones that's overlooked as well. So Solar Powered is an up to 3-star perk card. So at 3 stars you gain +3 strength and endurance between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So whenever the sun's out, you're getting an extra 15 pounds of carry weight. This is one of those ones you'll have to decide, is this the card for you? But I did want you to be aware that this is available and you can get up to 15 pounds extra carry weight. Alright, moving on to Charisma. Under Charisma, we're going over Party Girl. So Party Girl is one of those ones for people that carry around alcohol with them, or they're always over encumbered, as I like to say, and you need a fast travel. This is one of those cards that kind of help you out in a pinch. And alcohol can help you out in a pinch. So alcohol, most beverages give you about 1 strength, which is a 5 pounds extra carry weight, which is nice. Well, if it's a pre-war alcohol, you can use this card to actually get tripled amount. So you would get 3 strength instead of the just 1. So that would be 15 pounds versus 5 pounds. But the thing is with this card, at 1 star, it actually costs you 2 points. So you kind of have to weigh, do you want to actually use this card under your Charisma? So this is all going to be personal preference. It might be one that you want to swap in and out. I want you to be aware that it's here. Alright, let's head on to Intelligence. So under intelligence, the first perk card we're going to discuss is batteries included. Now these are for people that run energy weapon builds or power armor builds. So if you're carrying around a bunch of cores with you, cores weigh a lot. Your plasma cores, your fusion cores, your ultrasight cores, those all weigh a ton. So kind of check that out. See how much you're actually carrying around. That will really affect your weight management. So at 3 stars, this actually reduces your weapon ammo, your energy weapon ammo to 9%. So that is a big deal if you're carrying around a bunch of cores. After that, we'll head on over to portable power. So portable power is actually for power armor people, or if you just got done with eviction notice like me and you have a whole bunch of pieces of power armor that you need to lug back to the train station and it's just weighing you down. At 3 points, you can actually get 75% reduction in armor parts and your chassis. So that means your chassis are going to weigh 75% less, and all those pieces that you're carrying, they're going to weigh 75% less. Alright, let's head on over to agility. Under agility, we're actually going to look first at packing light. So if you're a pistol build, this is the card for you. At 3 stars, you get 75% reduction in your pistol weights. So all your pistols will weigh 75% less. At 1, you get 25, and at 2 stars, you get 50. And after this, let's head over to Through Hiker. So I love to run a food buff build. A lot of people do. This is one of the cards that you want in addition to Good with Salt. But this will give you a 9% reduction in food and drink weights. So that's also your alcohol. So if you're carrying around a bunch of alcohol as well, it will help reduce the carry weight for that. So that's up to 9% at 3 stars, 60 for 2, and 30% for 1. Now luck does have a couple cards that kind of get into that, so we'll kind of go over this real quick. So if you're mutated, the first card that you definitely need to have is Starch Genes. You also should have Class Freak. So Class Freak is up to a 3-star card, and this is if you're carrying around like the Bird Bones, an Egghead, an Eagle Eyes, and it's all affecting your carry weight. Like I told you earlier, it's a lot of weight that you lose just by putting those on, but there's so many benefits to them as well. So the negative effects of your mutations are reduced by 75% if you use 3 stars. At 1 star you get 25, and at 2 you get 50. It's really a plus. So let's say you're supposed to lose 4 strength. Just as an example, you would only lose 1 strength. So you go from losing 20 pounds to only losing 5 pounds. That's a big deal, guys. Kind of be aware of this, and if you're mutated, this may be a card that you want to invest in. The other one you want to invest in is Strange in Numbers. It is only a 1 star, but it is such a good card to have. It's also a really great card to share because some people don't know it's here or what it does. But Strange in Numbers, positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated too. So as long as you're on a team with somebody who's mutated, which most people over level 100 are mutated. Almost all of them. It's very rare that people aren't mutated. Some people run a build where they don't want mutations, but for the most part, a lot of people are mutated because everybody likes to jump high, guys. This will actually increase how much higher you can jump, believe it or not. So this card is really great to have, and it's only 1 star. It's a great investment. And since if you're mutated, you want to join a team. So joining a team will actually affect that. So that kind of goes in with the carnivore and everything else. So carnivore mutation, let's go ahead and look at that real quick. So carnivore, eat meat but not veggies with no disease and twice the benefit. So what happens is if you have all those cards on, like I said, basically you will get an increase in how much you can actually use these food buffs. So some of the food buffs actually increase your strength, or they increase your carry weight. Yes, there's food buffs that will help you carry more. It's great. So you want to maximize that. Be on a team so that way you can carry even more. It's crazy, I know, but it's really great, guys. So kind of be aware of that. Being on a team can really help you in a pinch. Having the more players you have that are mutated, the better. And if for some reason you happen to notice you can't carry as much, look down. You may have lost your team connection, or you might have lost your teammates. So try to always kind of be in touch with that. So let's just go ahead and look at the food buffs real quick. So let's see here. Pepperoni roll. With carnivore, I get 60 pounds of carry weight. Alright? That's a huge amount, guys. Huge. Let's go ahead and get rid of carnivores, and we'll just compare the two. So I'm going to take some Rad Axe that will suppress my mutations. And now, pepperoni roll. Look at this wonderful stuff. It's only 30 pounds of carry weight. So that's a huge deal. It's the same thing with your stingwing meats or your ribeye steaks. You look, only 20 pounds of carry weight. Go over to your aid and get rid of that Rad Axe. So take it, dilute it, and look, I'm at 40 pounds of carry weight. And like I said, with the pepperoni roll, 60 pounds. Now let's go ahead and join a team because I have those perk cards on. So here's a team with 2 other players. More than likely they are mutated. And let's take a look at it now. So 75 pounds of carry weight, guys. If you're mutated, they're mutated, it will increase your carry weight for marsupial too. So that is a plus plus of being on a team. So always be on a team, guys. It helps your XP, helps your carry weight. It's great. So the next thing you want to be aware of is other things that can actually affect your carry weight that you may not be aware of. So right now you can see I am fully fed. I have all my food, I have all my drinks. So fully fed, you get +1 strength. So that's an extra 5 pounds of carry weight right there just for eating food. So if you're carnivore, you're going to be eating anyway. This is a great thing to take advantage of. After being fully fed, let's go ahead and take a look at another buff that's available to you, and that is the weight bench. So let's go ahead and work out and see what happens. So the weight bench was actually a scoreboard reward, I do believe, one of the earlier scoreboards, but you can go to Crater and actually purchase this plan from Mortimer at 1250 gold bullion. So if you have problems with your carry weight or you want to be able to carry more, this might be one that you want to invest in. Or you could just, go to other people's camps. If you see it, you can take advantage of it and use it real quick. So this gives me a strength increase by 2. Let's go ahead and we'll check it here for how long that lasts. Alright, so how long do I get to carry an extra 10 pounds? So that's for 29 minutes, guys. So 29 minutes I get an extra 10 pounds. So this is one of those things that if you're going back to your house, you might just want to stop in and do it. It takes 30 seconds to do, and you get 29 minutes of extra carry weight. Alright, so the next one that you want to be aware of that kind of comes underneath effects is lunchboxes, guys. So lunchboxes can give you a lot of benefits. One of the things that can actually give you guys is something called a gift bag. And these lunchbox perks, they actually last for an hour. So if somebody gives you a lunchbox or you open up one and the first one you get says gift bag, you're getting 15 pounds of extra carry weight. Alright, so let's move on. Let's go ahead on to backpacks. Man, they can really help your carry weight. Now this is another topic that you can really get deep into, just like your perk cards and your mutations. So this might need a little bit more in-depth look from you guys. There are lots of videos. I have videos. We'll link them down in the description below. But you need to be aware that backpacks come in 2 different sizes. You have a small backpack and you have a standard backpack. The next thing you need to know is they also level up, and that makes a huge difference in your carry weight. So a standard backpack can actually increase your carry weight to 60 at level 50. So let's go ahead and go over here and look at these wonderful, wonderful book bags. Alright, so backpack, small backpack. So this is one that you come out of the vault with, guys. And it only gives you an extra 5 pounds of carry weight. 5 pounds is 5 pounds though, and that's great. But if you're a level 50, you get 30. The standard backpack's actually unlocked after completing the Order of the Tadpole, and then after you complete that, you can start to acquire these possum badges. So you'll have to farm for this, like I said. This is another one of those topics that gets really in depth. I'm just trying to give you an overall glance at it, but so that way you kind of know the direction to go in, okay? You want to start farming those possum badges because then you can buy something called a high capacity backpack mod. So let's go ahead and make a standard backpack. So at level 40 you get 50 pounds, level 30 you get 40, but at level 50 you get 60 pounds. So let's go ahead and modify that. And under mods, high capacity. Now look at that, carry weight double, guys, 120. Well, what if I'm not a level 50? Let's go ahead and look at this one. This is a level 30 and you get 40 pounds of carry weight. With that mod, you should get 80. So let's go ahead and see. And yes, carry weight is now 80. These are just something to be aware of. The high capacity book bag mod can also be bought from player vendors. So there are other mods that you can actually acquire. And some of these can really, really affect your carry weight. And not in a good way, in a bad way. Like for example, the refrigerated mod. I have 120 pounds with the high capacity. With no mod I have 60, okay? With the refrigerator, it drops it by half. Lowered carry capacity is the first thing it says. And so that is 30 pounds now. I lost 30 pounds of carry weight just because I want to have it refrigerated. So that's why Good with Salt is probably a better investment. If you don't have those 3 points in luck to use and give to that, you might want to use the refrigerator. But that's all up to you and your perspective and whether or not you want to use the food buffs. So grocer's backpack mod. Basically, a grocer's backpack mod, you only get the 60 pounds. That's the normal. You're not getting a decrease. But it does reduce all food and drink weight by 9%. Same with the chemist. The chemist backpack mod will reduce all chem weights by 9%. These perks do not stack with perk cards. Okay, so you can't do 9% with the chemist and then do 9% with the traveling pharmacy. You get one or the other. It does not stack, okay? Just so you're aware. So the high capacity may be the better choice for you because you get an extra 60 pounds of carry weight if it's a level 50 book bag. Alright, the next thing that can actually increase your carry weight is your weapon. Believe it or not, melee weapons can actually give you +1 strength as one of its attributes. So here's a bloody switchblade with +1 strength. So that means I get an extra 5 pounds of carry weight just for using this switchblade. Moving right along to the next topic. So armor. This is a big one. There's so many things to go over with armor. Let's go ahead and start with the fact that you can have strength on your armor as well. So you can get 1 point of strength for each piece of armor. So if you happen to have all 5 pieces, like your chest, your left, your right arm, legs, all that stuff have +1 strength, that is an extra 25 pounds of carry weight just from that alone. So that's something to be aware of. The next thing you want to be aware of is there's reductions that's available. You have a junk weight reduction, a weapon weight reduction, and then you have a chem food weight reduction. So as you can see here, I have a Ghoul Slayers that's got +1 strength, and then it's got weapon weight reduction by 20%. And so those all stack together, and you can get up to a 9% weapon weight reduction. All 5 pieces have weapon weight reduction. So the most you can get is the 90. Bethesda recently confirmed that there was a glitch and they actually fixed it. Most people didn't realize it was a glitch, but there you go. So this will not stack with any of like bear arms or any of that stuff. So just be aware, if you have 5 pieces of armor, you're not going to be able to use bear arms or your packing light or any of that stuff, okay? Don't waste your perk cards, basically. Make sure that you're allocating appropriately. The food one actually does your chems at the same time, so you get their through hiker and pharmacist can actually be tucked into one. So that's 6 points that you can actually keep and use for other things in your special. So just be aware of that, guys. And like I said, they all stack up to 90% with 5 pieces. Let's go ahead and look at pocketed armor. So you can actually do pocketed or deep pocketed armor. So pocketed armor should be giving you 5 pounds of extra carry weight for each piece that's pocketed. So if all 5 pieces are pocketed, you get 25 pounds. And obviously if you have it deep pocketed and you get 10 pounds for each one and you have all 5 pieces, that's 50 pounds. So let's go ahead and look at that real quick. Not all pieces of armor can be pocketed, and you do need to know the plans for these. Some of them you actually have to buy mods for, like scout armor. So it's under miscellaneous, and deep pocketed right here, carry weight of 10, and pocketed is a carry weight of 5. And you can see right here you need to have armor at rank 1 to do the deep pocketed after you've known the plan here. Armor can also offer a different way to actually increase your carry weight, and that's through unyielding armor. So unyielding armor is very special armor that says gain up to +3 to all stats except endurance when low health. So this is for your bloody build. So these are the people that run with a really low health bar and they have lots of radiation, so it's a lot of red in their health bar. When they're like that, they get an extra 15 pounds of carry weight. They're getting an extra 75 pounds of carry weight if they have 5 unyielding pieces and their health is super low. Alright, moving on from armor, let's go ahead and look at power armor. So the first thing that you need to know is the attributes for armor kind of are the same for power armor, except for like you can't have unyielding, certain things like that. The power armor, your attributes are the same. So you can have +1 strength. That's available. You can have the weapon weight reduction. You can have food chem weight reduction, junk or ammo reduction. The next thing I want you to be aware of is excavator armor actually increases your carry weight by 100 if you have all your pieces are excavator. If all your pieces are not excavator, you will not get that extra 100 pounds of carry weight. Now, Union Power Armor also gives you extra carry weight if all 5 pieces are equipped, and that's 75 pounds of extra carry weight, just in case you're a Power Armor build. The other thing I want you to be aware of is, before you get into your Power Armor, you also have on a backpack. As soon as you step in there, your backpack, all your armor, your clothes, all that stuff comes off. So anything that you have that has extra attributes that's helping you with your carry weight or strength, all that goes away. So you're only getting 100 extra carry pounds with excavator armor. If you have the high capacity book bag mod, that's 120 pounds. So that's 20 pounds you're actually losing right off the top. So you have to really be aware of what's going on. Some people actually use the excavator to help them with their carry weight. So they're in an event, they pick up a bunch of stuff, they need an extra 100 pounds, they step into the power armor just so that way they can fast travel. The other thing that you need to be aware of, though, is you can actually put on something called calibrated shocks. So this is the excavator power armor. So legs. Right here you can see that I have calibrated shocks on. That gives me extra 50 pounds of carry weight. For each leg I get an extra 50 pounds. So that's 100 pounds if you put on the calibrated shocks mod. And with your torso you can actually put on a mod that's motion assist servos. That's available for most power armors as well. And that gives you +2 strength. So that's an extra 10 pounds of carry weight. Moving on, the next topic is actually going to be underarmor. Some people may not know what underarmor is. I'm not going to get into everything about it, but it's worn underneath your clothes. And the one that I want to go ahead and touch base on, there's a bunch of different ones that do a bunch of different things. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But let's go ahead and look at the Shielded Secret Service underarmor. So this is actually the new twist. It's basically just a paint, if you will. Anyhow, it has shielded lining. With the shielded lining in Secret Service, I get an extra 4 strength. So that is an extra 20 pounds of carry weight. Just want you to be aware that that exists, and that can also help you out with your carry weight. The next thing we want to get into is chems. So let's go ahead and take a look at chems. So Psycho Buff. Psycho Buff can actually give you an extra 3 points to strength, so that's an extra 15 pounds of carry weight. The Buff Out will give you +2, Buff Tats will give you a +3, Excel will give you +2, so those are the ones that will actually help you out and give you extra strength. Daddy-O will actually give you negative strength, so that one can actually affect it in a bad way. And as far as chems, you also need to be aware that you can become addicted to chems, and that can also affect your strength. So if you're addicted to Buff Out, you can actually lose strength by 1. It's the same for Fury, Overdrive, Psycho, and Excel. All of them will give you -1 to strength, and that includes Buff Tat, Psycho Buff, all the ones that are in the same category. So like you have your Psycho, your Psycho Tats, all those if you become addicted to will be -1 to your strength. Moving on to the next thing. So diseases. Diseases can actually affect your carry weight. So, several of the diseases actually will negatively impact your carry weight. Blight can give you -1 to all special. Flat Limb will give you -2 to strength. And Needle Spine will give you -10 pounds of carry weight. The next thing I want you to be aware of, under food and drink, there's something wonderful, and you can get it from the board, or you can get it from Mortimer at Crater for Gold Bullion, is a carry weight booster. Carry weight boosters are amazing. They're used by themselves. You can't become addicted to it. They do not go against any other item that you're using, so you get an extra 50 pounds of carry weight for 30 minutes. So these things are amazing. Since we're underneath foods, let's go ahead and start looking at all the different foods that can actually help you with your carry weight. So for instance, here we go, we got Cranburger. A Cranburger can give you 50 pounds of carry weight, and like I said, this is all going to be because I'm a carnivore and I'm on a team right now. So if this person leaves my team, because there's only one other person on my team right now, I will lose some of that carry weight. So that's something to be aware of, but for right now, it's 50 pounds of extra carry weight with carnivore mutation. Then you have Deathclaw Steak. This gives you +5 strength. So the one thing that you need to know about these foods is that the buffs do stack, but they will cancel each other out. So like this one right here, Deathclaw, you get 5 strength. So you can combine that with your Cranburger, and that means you'll get an extra 75 pounds of carry weight just from these 2 items. But if for some reason you're like, oh, I want to carry more, and you see Deathclaw Wellington gives you an 8 to strength, which this is the only one that gives you 8 strength, just so you know. Almost all the other ones give you 5 or less. But Deathclaw Wellington gives you the most. It's more difficult to make, obviously, but you get 8 strength. So that is 40 pounds of extra carry weight, guys, in relation to 25. So that's a huge deal. But if you take the Deathclaw Steak and then you take the Deathclaw Wellington, you're actually going to cancel out the Deathclaw Steak, because the strength ones will cancel out the strength ones, and the carry weight ones will cancel out the carry weight ones. A couple that you need to be aware of for the strength ones, there's not as many, but You have the Gulper Stuffed Foot, which is a brand new item that we got from Nuka World on tour. That one will increase your strength. The Deathclaw Steak, like I said, the Deathclaw Wellington will. The Stingwing Fillet is another one that will increase your strength, and that'll give you a 25 carry weight too as a carnivore and on a team. So your Mole Rat Chunks and your Mole Rat Jerky. Mole Rat Jerky is yet another item that just was introduced from Nuka World on tour. They give you extra strength as well. Simple Fern Flour Tea will give you extra strength as well. It's +1. The Steeped Fern Flour will give you +2. Foods that will increase your carry weight. The smoked Murloc fillets, pepperoni roll, and Yao Gai pastry will all give you 75 pounds of extra carry weight if you're mutated and on a team. And you can make all 3 of these guys. They don't have to be farmed or anything like gun. Every single time you complete riding shotgun, you get a pepperoni roll as your reward. So that's something I just want you guys to be aware of. And like I said, the carry weight and the strength ones stack. If you do 2 carry weight ones though, they'll cancel each other out. So whichever one that you took last will be the one that you get. So if you take a pepperoni roll, a ribeye, which gives you 50, you only have 50 carry weight. You will not have the 75 anymore. So just be aware of that. So here's all the ones that give you the extra carry weight. Like I said, Yao Gai pastry, that's another one that's brand new from the Nuka World on tour. That gives you 75 pounds. You have your pepperoni roll, which like I said gives you 75 pounds. Ribeye will give you 50. Grilled rad toad, grilled rad stag, fried rad toad legs, cranberger, and mystery meat pie, roasted ants, and then smoked Murloc fillets. So those are the ones that actually give you the extra carry weight. So speaking of food, I told you that being well fed will actually give you an extra 5 pounds of carry weight. Well, there is a perk card that I kind of want to go over, and that's rejuvenated. So rejuvenated says that you will get a perk for basically being well fed. But this does not affect your actual carry weight or your strength. So do not worry about actually using that. I just wanted to address it real quick so that way you weren't like, well, what about this? So moving on from food, let's get into alcohol. So alcohols are just like what I was saying before. All the alcohols do not stack. So if you take one, you're going to cancel out the other. But the thing I want you to be aware of, underneath charisma, you can get Party Girl, and Party Girl can actually affect your carry weight because it will affect the strength of the actual alcohol that you're using. The alcohol that will give you the most carry weight without that card is going to be your Vintage Magic Moonshine, which you get from doing Moonshine Jamboree. So right off the bat, you can see you get 4 strength. So that is 20 pounds of carry weight. If you don't have the perk card on as well, whiskey will only give you 10 pounds of carry weight. So it'll be 2 strength, which is 10 pounds. But if you have on the Party Girl, so now I have 6 strength. Without the Party Girl on, it will only be +2, which is 10. So we'll take that off. And now I should have 10. So 2 strength. But the Vintage Magic Moonshine is unaffected by this. There's a bunch of them that are unaffected by this. But I just want you to be aware that you can get an extra 20 pounds of carry weight just from the Vintage by itself. And if you have the Party Girl on and it's maxed completely out, whiskey will give you an extra 30. The other one that you need to be aware of is Rad Ant Lager. This stuff is awesome, but it's also terrible at the same time. So Rad Ant Lager will give you 50 pounds of carry weight. This, like I said, cannot be combined 50, but you need to be aware that this only lasts for about a minute or two, and then the negative effects of it is that you lose 50 pounds. So you'll be negative 100 pounds after you lose the 50, basically, because you'll lose the extra 50 pounds of carry weight, and then you'll have a minus 50 on top of that, so you'll be 100 pounds under, which will be terrible. So if you take Rad Ant Lager, you need to go fast. So that would be the last thing that you actually take before you fast travel. So this is one of those ones that kind of get you out of a sticky situation, and you can actually learn the plan for this and make it. So that's one thing that you can actually investigate more. I actually have a video that I'll link in the description that will teach you how to do that or where to get it. A few other ways to actually increase your carry weight is the strength bobblehead. So if you have a strength bobblehead and you put it on, you can increase your strength by 2 points, which is 10 pounds for over an hour. There's also magazines that will actually help increase or help your carry weight. So Grognak number 6 will give you 75% off all melee weapons. Number 9 of Grognak will give you 10 pounds of carry weight. Scout's Life number 3 will also give you 10 pounds of carry weight. And the holotape game, Grognock, and the Ruby Ruins will give you +1 strength for an hour. So it's 5 extra pounds of carry weight for an hour. So I figured you guys might want to know that one as well. Alright guys, moving right along, let's go ahead and get into what you're actually carrying around on your person. So, you pick up a lot of stuff, some things you may not even know that you're acquiring along the way, and things start to weigh you down and you can't figure out where's all this weight coming from. You have no idea. Some events give you a lot of stuff, a lot of grenades or a lot of mini nukes or just stuff, and you don't need all that stuff. Since you're carrying around so much stuff all the time and you're picking up new stuff and you're getting rewards, one of the events that gives you a lot of rewards is eviction notice. You get lots and lots of 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars, and a lot of times I end up with a ton of power armor pieces. Now as you can see here, this bolstering left leg that I have weighs 14 pounds. As you can see here, this is a power armor frame that has all my power armor pieces on it, and it only weighs 10 pounds. That's right, a power armor chassis only weighs 10 pounds. So that means if you got 5 pieces that could be weighing upwards of 14 pounds, you can put all of those onto one power armor frame and it's only going to weigh 10 pounds. So right there, just the one piece, you're losing 4 pounds. My suggestion is to always carry around a power armor chassis that is empty. It's your junk power armor frame. The next thing with your power armor, real quick, let's go ahead and look at this. So if you're trying to fast travel and you're just like a couple pounds over and you don't really have a way to get it, or you don't want to eat something or waste something like a carry weight booster just because you need 10 pounds, you can literally set down your power armor frames and you can then fast travel. You just need to walk away from them and then you can fast travel to wherever you need to go, and they'll actually be recalled to your inventory as soon as you get where you need to go. If for some reason it's not working, walk further away. One way to quickly figure out what is weighing you down is to go into your Pip-Boy, and you're actually going to go through and sort everything. Mine's the left stick, you'll see it down here on the bottom right, and you can sort it. It says damage, ROF. You get a weight and then you get a stack weight. So if you get carrying around like 100 stim packs, it's going to show you how much 100 of your stim packs weigh. You'll actually see what weighs the most and what you're carrying the most right at the top of the screen. So you just want to go down through the line and figure out where is all the weight coming from. Obviously food can start to add up, your aid can start to add up, but miscellaneous is the biggest culprit that you're going to find that you had no idea that you're even acquiring. For example, a lot of people pick up ore, they don't even know what ore is, they don't know that they're picking it up, like they just think they're getting some scrap for the junk box, but they're not. So one of the things I'm going to tell you is make sure that you're always going over to your chemistry station and seeing if you need to smelt anything. If it comes up that you need to smelt something, go in and actually smelt the item so that way you can actually break it into junk. Or really starts to weigh you down and you might not even know it's there, like I was saying. The other things that you need to know is you got repair kits and scrap kits and claim tokens, like I just went over in the video. Like, you have no idea how much all this stuff weighs, so you need to be aware that I have 180 basic repair kits. That's 18 pounds of stack weight. That's just ridiculous. And then go down to my claim tokens, I got 40, that's 4 pounds. So there's a lot of things that just kind of start accumulating, especially under this miscellaneous tab, that you might not even know was accumulating and weighing you down. One of the other things I want you to know is that when you buy like a mold mounted pail from a train station and it says craftable, this goes into your miscellaneous section as well. So you need to go in and see if you're carrying around any of these, because these also weigh a pound a piece. It's ridiculous, I know, but go ahead and craft those and open them up. Another thing that's under your miscellaneous that's weighing you down is your legendary modules. Yes, they weigh something and they will start to weigh you down. So kind of check and see how much you're carrying around. You might need to put some of it into your stash box. Also under miscellaneous, you have your nuclear key cards. So nuclear key cards, they give them away sometimes as a daily giveaway from the atomic shop. You get them from the scoreboard. Those things weigh a pound a piece. Moving on towards food. So one of the things you need to be on the lookout for is your spoiled items. They can kind of start to weigh you down. That goes for your spoiled food, your biofluid, items needed to make flux. Any of that stuff, it kind of starts to weigh you down. Actual flux itself under aid weighs a pound a piece. Other items under aid that may be weighing you down, Lunchboxes can weigh something. I have 197 here, and that weighs 20 pounds. A lot of people keep on picking up all their chems, and that kind of starts to weigh you down as well. But the big one is all the stuff that we get from these seasonal events. The seasonal events, like the spooky scorch that we just had the other day, those spooky scorch packs weigh a pound a piece. The same thing with the mutated party packs, they weigh a pound a piece. So make sure that you're going in and opening these things, or if you're wanting to save them, you put them in your stash box so you're not just carrying them around. I don't believe the weight reduction actually applies to them. So the weight reduction does not apply to these items. So you can see that this still weighs 35 pounds even though I have a chem and aid reduction. The other thing that weighs a bunch is your lunch boxes. You're letting all that stuff accumulate. You might want to see how much you're actually carrying around with you, and you might want to just sort it by that stack weight again, just so you can see where all your weight's being taken up. You know, if you got like 200 pounds and you're like, why do I weigh 200 pounds more? I didn't weigh that 2 weeks ago. Well, you need to look at all these different things. Okay, so check your miscellaneous, check your aid, check all your sections, and just see where things are kind of starting to weigh you down. The other thing is some of the apparel, like you'll look and you'll see the apparel weighs like 0.1. You're like, oh, I can carry that around. If you're carrying around radiation suits, Mountain, the camo hazmat, the black one, all those things weigh like 10 pounds a piece. Do not carry those around unless you absolutely have to. If you put them in your stash box, it's taking up 10 pounds. So just be aware. Your backpacks all weigh a pound a piece. Your underarmor is going to weigh a bunch, and some of your other items, like some of your other apparel, actually weighs a bunch too. So just kind of be aware of how much you're carrying around. Like, I couldn't figure out why I'd weighed so much while I was going around and collecting these Brotherhood fatigues, because they're kind of a rare spawn item. They're not super rare, but you know, they're uncommon. And I had like 20 of them. Well, they weigh over a pound a piece. So that's, you know, more than 20 pounds I was carrying around in Brotherhood fatigues. Mods also weigh a pound a piece if you start to pick those up. Another thing that you want to check is you want to always check your ammo, because you could have just gotten a whole bunch of mini nukes and you have no idea that you even have that many nukes. Another easy culprit is junk. Make sure that you're breaking down all your junk, guys. Go over to your workbenches and make sure that you're breaking all this stuff down. So scrap items says scrap all junk. So you just want to push Y and make sure that you're actually scrapping all that junk. But you may not be aware that some of these items you can't actually scrap. As you can see, I have hardened mass here. And this is one of the items that cannot be broken down by just putting scrap all junk. So you actually have to manually go in and scrap that to break it down. And this stuff starts to weigh a whole lot too. So if you're putting all this stuff into your stash box, it's going to start taking up a lot of space, and you didn't realize that you might need it to break down stuff. So just be careful before you dump everything into your stash box that you've broken down all the items that actually need to be broken down. Alright, so let's go ahead and check the stash box here. So I have a 50 cal heavy weapon, and I have weight reduction perks on my armor, and also have bare arms on. So it says it weighs 2 pounds. Well, you know as well as I do that these things do not weigh 2 pounds with those perk cards and your weapon weight reduction perks that's on your armor. All that stuff does not apply to your stash box. So if I go to take this 50 cal out, it's all just a misconception because of the fact that you get the weight reduction perk cards and armor on. I'm going to lose like 10 pounds, so that way I'll have more stash space. So let's go ahead and take that out. And look at that, from 1170 something to 1155. How crazy is that? So you need to be aware that just because you have on weight reduction stuff, it does not transfer over to your stash box. The aid goes the same way. You need to be aware that your super stim packs, they weigh a ton. Alright, so those super stim packs weigh a pound and a half without any weight reduction. So if you got 20 super stim packs that you're just putting into your stash box, and you have on traveling pharmacy, and then you have on pieces of armor or power armor that actually reduce your chem weight, that is not transferring over to your stash box. So maybe don't put 20 super stim packs in your stash box. Either drop them on the ground, sell them for super cheap, because that's taking up your stash box. Another way to manage your junk is to actually bulk it. The only two items that need to be bulked is aluminum and lead. Yes, you heard me right. Only aluminum and lead. It's the only ones that will really make a difference in the weight. The other thing that weighs a ton that's under junk, it used to be under miscellaneous, is your gunpowder. Gunpowder weighs a lot, so don't be carrying around a bunch of that. If you have the scrap box, obviously it's not going to weigh anything, but if you have your stash box, you need to be aware of how much weight that's actually being taken up. One of the things that really helps you with your weight management is Fallout First, unfortunately. Fallout First, you get basically free junk space. Like you can see here, I have 9,000 pounds of aluminum. There is no weight limit, and basically I just put all my junk over here without any issue whatsoever. And then on top of that, they just recently gave us an ammo box, and that means that all your ammo weighs nothing as well. The only problem is that you can't put any of your fusion cores in here or your plasma cores. That's probably the only downside. Plus you also get tent and you get some atom, so if that's something that you're having an issue with, is managing your junk, maybe get it. You could consider just getting Fallout First for a month, because it still works. Basically, you just, for the 1 month, you go ahead and you loot, you make a bunch of ammo, you take advantage of the ammo box and the loot box, or the scrap box, and basically at the end of that, you will still have access to all that stuff, you just can't add anything to it. If you want to manage your stash box weight better, this is one of the things I want you to be aware of. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. Please leave a comment below if you think I missed anything. There will be a future Under Armour video that will be coming soon, and I do want to give a shout out to our glowing Deathclaw. It's Dante. Thank you so much for being a member, and you guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.